Hello, how are you doing? This is an update to the course based on not really request but observation. If you're watching this, um, you must have already gone through the first part of the beginner's guide to online content writing. Within the course, there are assignments, two assignments actually. The first one is write 100 words of um, content that contains certain words, happy editing and stuff. And the second one is an editing assignment where you're asked to, refine a piece of content to make it look better and all of that. So far, we've had a couple of students. I don't know how many, but I realized that there is a gap that we should be able to fill. At least this is something that you should learn in a beginner's writing course, which is why I'm making this extra supplement video to support. As you can see, there is no slide. I'm not sharing slides with you. I just want to explain some things so that subsequently you would understand what it means, what it really means to write online. So apart from joining words together and editing, using Grammarly and all of these tools I shared or we shared in the course, one other important aspect of online content writing is collaboration, sharing your work with your clients or your editor or somebody that you're working with. And sometimes, most times, you are not allowed to keep multiple versions of the same document. Like, okay, you send the first draft, you have an assignment, you create whatever content that you were asked to create, you send the first draft to your client or your editor, they tell you, okay, change this, change this. You send another draft and then another draft. That is inefficient and it's just too many document versions and things are going to get lost. So now in the world that we live in, there are two different ways that people collaborate with written content online. That's before it reaches the publishing stage. You can either use Google Docs um, or you use Microsoft Word. Now, I'm a big fan of Google Docs because it's online. Everything about it is online. So as long as you have a laptop, well, even on a phone, but preferably a laptop, as long as you have a laptop, 10,000 people can work on one document easily, straightforward, without issues, as long as there are rules that you're following. So I'm not going to assume that you know what Google Docs means. So this is a blank Chrome page. I'm assuming, okay, I said I'm not going to assume, but I am assuming that you already have a Gmail account. Please, if you don't, well, you should. If you bought this course, you definitely have a Gmail account. So right here is a list of um sorry, right here's a list of Google products. You can see that there are multiple Google products. You have your Google Drive, you have Google Play, YouTube, Maps, and all of this additional stuff. So for this particular recording, I'm focusing on Google Docs. You can access Google Docs two different ways. You can go through your drive, open your drive. Your drive is going to show you everything that is, yikes, you're not supposed to see this part of my drive. Okay, your drive is going to show you all the documents that you already have on it. So many information on your drive. You can either go this way or you go back to Chrome again, click on the apps and go directly to Google Docs. It's going to take you to Google Docs. Again, sensitive information. So this is just what it looks like. So once you open your Drive or your Google Docs, you can access any document that is there. Now, very important, on your Drive, this this particular document is not a Google document, it's a Word document. Google Document they have stripes on them. I'm showing you this because Word documents and Google documents behave differently when you're working directly on Google. Preferably, it's better to use Google documents when you are working on Google. If you want to use Word, just use Word directly. So this algae proposal is a Google document. You can see the logo here that is in stripes. This African Time Nonfiction is a Word document. So if I open it, you can see that it's saying converting to Google Docs. So when you open a document on your laptop and it loads like that, you should know that it is not a Google. And if you want to collaborate with that particular document, it's going to be a bit difficult for whoever your collaborator is. So usually you should click on File, do that again, click on File, and click on Save as Google Docs. Once you click on Save as Google Docs, it's going to create a new document that is Google Docs. Where is it? There it is. So this particular one, you can see there is nothing here, unlike this one. This thing is telling you that it is a Word document. This one that does not have dot is telling you that this is a Google document. This is the kind of document that you want to work with. All right? Okay. So that is one part of what I wanted to talk about. Now, the second part is the actual collaboration. Now, Google Docs is it's a note-taking application and also helps with grammar and there was a bit of punctuation, correction, stuff like that. It's not as detailed. It's not as detailed as Grammarly, but it still helps. So, for instance, one of the benefits that you have after taking the course is that you can, if you write something, you can share it with us and then we'll give you feedback, right? Now, usually I'm the one that you're going to share that. And personally, I'm not in the business of downloading documents to my phone or to my laptop. I don't want to download documents. So if you send the document, I'll do the work of uploading it to my Google Drive and share it with you as a Google document so that we can make that collaboration. We can work on the document together. I don't want to make corrections, send you a document, then you send another document to me, then I send another. It's completely inefficient. So if you want to share a document, it is preferable that you share your document as a collaborative document. So on this screen, these are normal Word menu bar. This is undo, redo. I don't need to be teaching you all these things. Adjusting text, fonts, bold, whatever. So this is where I'm coming to. There are 3 different modes for a Google document. You can either edit. If you're on editing mode, you can make any changes and it will save automatically. Any change you make saves automatically, right? If you are in suggesting mode, if you make any change, it's not going to save. It's just going to tell the owner of the document that this person has made some changes. This person is telling you to think about these changes and decide if you want to add to your document. So this is an article that I wrote, God knows when. I cannot even remember. I don't think it ever got published. But anyway, let's assume that I wanted to make some adjustments. And I say, okay, so in a few years, you might be right. I should have probably picked an unedited document so that I'll see something for it. But just for the sake of this video. Let's say, let me just change back. Let me change this entire sentence. Okay, if you didn't guess YouTube, you are right. Within a few years, you might be wrong. Okay. Okay. Let's just say those are the changes that I want to make. Then there's another mode, which is viewing. If I change it to viewing, you can't make any changes. Yeah. So on suggesting, you can also make comments. I can highlight this, add comment, and say, I like this line. Good job. I suggest that you add a little more enticing info about why your reader should keep reading. Yeah, I think that's a good comment. I don't think I add that. Anyway, then you add comment. Okay, let me start over to explain the thought process here. In this case, I am the editor, not you. So if you send a document to me that, hi, please help me review this and edit it, or make suggestions or tell me how to improve it, whatever. If I decide to help you with it, this is the kind of thing that I would like to do. And usually, well, depending on what's the expression now? Depending on the, not necessarily relationship, but let me just use that word, relationship. Depending on the relationship, I could go ahead and go through the entire content and make adjustments to every part of the document. Or I could just focus on maybe the first paragraph, make some corrections, make some comments, and then tell you to adjust the rest of the document based on the earlier corrections that I've made. I actually prefer the second method because if I do the entire editing, there's very little chance that you're going to understand the changes that I make. Now, this document, I did may change this. I hope you can see this. I think I'm sharing this one. I have multiple emails, so this is just something I'm doing to accept. Don't worry about this. I'm just doing it so that I can explain the magic that I'm doing. All right. So let's assume that this person, this is a different email. As you can see, the profile is different and it's a new Chrome opening, whatever. So this is the owner of the document, right? Now this person, that should be you now in this case. You have seen that you will definitely get a notification on what's it called on your email that somebody is making adjustments to your document. But that's only if the person is suggesting. Remember what I said, there is editing mode suggested. If you send your document to me for review for editing, I'm going to be suggesting, I'm not going to edit it for you. Because the whole point of the course is that you understand what it means to write and what it means to self-edit. You don't need to wait for an editor to do the job for you. So I don't edit, I make suggestions. So if I make suggestions through email, through Google Docs, you're going to get an email that, oh God, I lost my train of thought. Okay, you're going to get an email that somebody is making suggestions to you. So this person now is the owner of this document, and she has opened the document and seen that, oh, somebody made an adjustment to this document. Yeah. So if she goes through the corrections that I've made, or he, whatever the case may be, you can decide to either accept or reject solution. If you reject, it's not going to change what is there. If you accept, it's going to make the changes that I made. Do you get? So I'm rejecting because I don't want to scatter the, well, in fact, let me accept it so that I can show you another part of Google Docs that will be very helpful. So let me accept these changes that I've made for this particular document are terrible changes. I am just making an example. So let's say, as the owner of the document, I've accepted the changes. I like the corrections that you've made, and I've agreed to adjust the rest of the document. So for this one, this is the comment. You don't need to accept or reject the comment. You just resolve it. Once you resolve it, this highlight is going to go away. So just like that, it's gone. Yeah? Okay. Now another part of documents for you is this. If you click on, by default, if you create a document on Google Docs, by default, that document is protected, is restricted. You're the only one that has access to it. So if you want to share it, if you look at this now, this document is still restricted. I didn't change the restriction. I just shared it with one specific person. So the only people that can access this document I'm showing you is me and the owner. The owner is me, of course, and then the editor is me. So those are the only two people that can access the document. If you want to share it with multiple people, though, you can go from restricted to anyone with the link. Now, by default, again, Google Docs is going to assign the role of viewer. That means anybody you give the link can only view the document. The person will not be able to change it. And this to change the document, and this is the recommended role that you want to put on most of your documents so that anybody will not just open and scatter the document. By the way, if somebody scatters your document, you can still fix it. I'm going to show you that now, as long as it's Google Docs. So, but if you want the person that you're sharing the link with to be able to edit, you can change this to editor, just like that. So right now, I would prefer that my document is restricted. So that's, if you want to share it, you copy the link here, just click copy link and paste the link. Paste the link. This is the link to your document. Share it with anybody. Finish. Now, as the owner of the document, yeah, once your editor or the person that is reviewing your document is done and you feel like, and you go through the final version, you feel like, I liked my original version better. Click on this pen that looks like clock. It's going to show you version history. Version history means all the changes that you've made to this particular document. So this is telling me that I created the document on June 1. Of course, it was an empty document when I created it. Showing me the time. Right. So this is the thought process and everything. So if you want to go back to a particular version, just click on that icon that I showed you, this icon here, this time icon, and go through all the versions that you have, pick any one that you think you want to stick to. That's it. That's all you have to do to get a previous version of your Google document. And that's another reason I prefer working with Google Document. Yes, you are learning, people are making corrections on your document, but there are sometimes that the editors don't know best. It is your work, it's your content, and your own version might actually be better, or at least maybe the second or third version might be better than the 19th version. So if you want to go back to that particular version, you can easily access it if you're working with the document. So I should probably point this out too. Like I said, some of you share the document as as a file, like a Word document, and I go through the process of uploading it and I share it with you. if I want to share it with you, I can decide to assign you as the owner of the document. Right, let me go back here. I can decide to assign ownership to you. So you can see transfer ownership. If I transfer ownership to you, that means you will be able, it's just a way to ensure that when I make changes, you get notified because the owner of the document takes priority over any other person that is working on the document. So if anybody does anything to that document, you would know, you would be able to track who did what to the document, as long as you are not sharing it with everybody. So that's another thing that I think you might want. So again, the point of this video is document sharing and easy access. Let me just explain my thought process to you. Recently, somebody shared her file. It was a short story, and the story was actually very nice, but I had problems with punctuation and grammar. She shared it as a document. I uploaded it to Google Drive. I made some suggestions for the entire first paragraph and added one very, very, very long comment. I don't think I want to show you that because I like to consider that a confidential document, not give permission to share it with the whole world. So, and after sharing the document with her, I asked her to make the correction on that particular file. And she ended up sending a new document, like an entirely different document. And then when I opened the document, I didn't download it by the way. Like I said, I'm not a very big fan of downloading documents. And most of your clients will not be interested in downloading documents. I need you to understand it. So she sent an entirely new file, and some of the changes, some of the corrections that I made, she had not effected it. So why would you want me to download that file, maybe go through it again, and then make the exact same comment that I already made? So if you were just working on the same document, I would have easily pointed it out, like highlighted it and said, oh, you ignored this place, it's fixed. Easy, simple and straightforward. Again, which is why I prefer using Google Docs. Now, if you don't want to use Google Docs, there is a similar feature on Word document. This is a Word document. So Word documents have different menu bars. On this bar, do you see what I did there? Review. On your review bar, there is a function called track change. If you click this track change, any change that you make will be saved. Like the document is going to save that changes as changes. So that whenever it is you send it to the owner of the document, the person will know that, okay, this is what you did here. This is what you didn't do here. Now, usually, clients that work with Word documents, this is what they do. They highlight, they receive your documents, whatever first draft that you send, highlight and make comments there. Tell you what they want you to do. When they do things like this, it is your job as the writer to respond to their comments in that document. Please use the same document that you are interacting with. You can't be sharing multiple files for one content. It is inefficient. So the client sends your article back to you and says, hey, Oluchi, thank you for what you did. I've made a few comments. Please make the changes and revert back to me. Read the comments. If the comment says change this, okay, maybe you don't have to respond to that. Just go ahead and make that change and delete the comment. Not to delete the comment, click on this here. Right click, you see option for delete, or you mark it as don't save. Anyone. I think marking as done is better. Like I said, I'm a Google Doc person, not a Word person. That doesn't mean I don't have Word. So if it's something that you're expected to respond to it. This is another question. Why 10 to 30 minutes? Is there a resource? Yes, you add the source there. Another question. Give details of your comments. So all of these comments are for the same section. So you can just respond to that particular comment, to one of the comments, as long as, my point being that online writing requires collaboration. You cannot be a writer and not know how to collaborate. You cannot be a writer and not know how to use one document throughout for one project. It's not an efficient way to work. So whether you're using Google Docs or you're using Microsoft Word, please know how to navigate your changes or adjustments in the document. If your client is using Microsoft Word and the person tells you to track changes, please track the changes. Just go from your home. By default, Microsoft Word opens in home, right? So just go from your home to the review section, the review tab, the review menu. Come here to track changes and just click on it. So that any change you make, the client is going to say that, okay, this is where you made the change. If the person didn't say track changes, please don't track. Just leave it like that. Respond to the comments that need responding and make the adjustment in the place that needs adjustment. That's it. So that is the end of my story. I hope that you understood everything that I've said. Again, the point of this video was or is to respond to the observations that we've made based on the number of people that have already taken the course so far. Most of you are doing okay in terms of writing, but I realized that that collaboration is not yet there. And you need to understand that this is online writing for a reason. Online because you are not going to office. Online because you might never know what your client looks like. Online because you are using your phone and you should be able to use both devices effectively. These features are also on your mobile phones, yeah, but as you would imagine, it's not very easy to use for mobile. So what's it called? A desktop or a laptop is preferred for these kinds of advanced features. I think I'm done now. I've explained how to share documents, how to restrict documents, how to track changes. This is the person that you're sharing with. If you share it with anybody, you won't see the person's details here. They'll just show you one anonymous because you didn't share it with a particular person, you shared it with everybody. So even if somebody changes the document, you will not know who changed it. So what else? Told you about assigning ownership here. So if I assign a document to you, this is the kind of email that you receive. Invitation to own, YouTube ads analysis. And then there is a part where you be able to accept or decline. I've already accepted it, that's why it's showing me this. And yes, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching and have fun writing. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at academy@insights.ng. We're always very happy to talk to you. And if you don't get a response through the email, which you should, at least within 24 hours if it's not a weekend, you can reach out to us through our course, our marketing manager. I'm sure you have his number. That's how you have access to the course. So thanks for watching. Bye.